Come on, baby, light my fire. Please welcome back Scott Garver. Scott Garver, come on, baby, light my fire.
I mentioned in my first speech of this series how it was my goal to motivate you to become the power source in your life. So you're saying to yourself, how do we do that, Scott? And I say, by using the 3 E's. Enthusiasm creates excitement, which generates effectiveness. We need to tune out negativity and plug in to enthusiasm. How many Buckeye fans, High State fans do I have in the crowd tonight? OH!
Hi-yo!
What about Michigan fans? Boo! I am a Buckeye born and bred. I even won a creative writing contest when I was in 4th grade when I wrote a story about the Ohio State versus Michigan game. Jim Harbaugh is the coach of that team up north. And he uses this quote quite frequently. He says, to attack every day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. Now, I never thought that I would be quoting the coach of my most hated rival, but if that's not an example of how we can use enthusiasm to be a power source in our life, then I don't know what is. Another name for enthusiasm is fire. We need to stoke that fire within us by acting enthusiastic. And when we do that, we build that fire within us. How many of you, raise your hand if you're a fan of survival shows, reality shows about survival, like Survivor or Dual Survival, or my newest guilty pleasure, Naked and Afraid. Do I have any Naked and Afraid fans out there? Bob, all right. Found one. Folks, that show is awesome. I'm telling you, go home and set your DVR. You'll be hooked. Survivor. What about Survivor fans? Classic reality TV. The reason I ask is because on those shows, the lifeblood of survival out there in the bush or out there in the jungle or on a deserted island is fire. You need fire to live. So you've got these survivalists out in the woods or out on the beach, and they're working this bow drill and they're rubbing it between their hands, trying to create a little bit of a coal that they can use for a fire. And then they take that little ember and they put it in with some dry tinder and some grass. And what do? They blow on it. They try to get that oxygen to ignite that little coal, that it can spread that flame and create a fire. Let's rewind for a second. So you've got your survivalist out there hitting that piece of flint against a rock to create a spark. Or those 2 naked people bent over with that bow drill down there, rubbing it, trying to create. What? I'm telling you, you've got to see this show, Naked and Afraid. It is amazing. And don't worry, they use those blurry things they use on TV to cover up all the parts that you don't care to see. Unless some of you do care to see that, well, that's a different show on probably a totally different network. But seriously, Toastmasters, enthusiasm is created by your actions. When you can align your purpose with your passion, that ember, that little piece of coal is dropped into, it's your purpose. Look at it as your purpose. And when you drop it into that ball of tinder and dry grass, that stuff is you. It's your audience. It's your teammates. And when you apply your breath, that's your enthusiasm. You're trying to create that spark, that excitement, that spark will hit that dry tinder, and you'll be effective, and you'll have reached your goal of having a fire. Now, this concept of the 3 E's is cyclical. Once you align your passion, which is your enthusiasm, with a purpose, you create excitement, not only within you, but with others around you. They want to find out what you're so excited about, enthusiastic about. They want to join in your cause. They want to buy your products. They want to listen to you speak. And that makes you effective at achieving your goals. And the more that happens, the more effective you are, the more enthusiastic you get about that goal or about setting other goals. And the more excited you and the people around you get, which helps you to continue to be more and more productive. Now, none of that starts without that first E, which is what? Enthusiasm. Boy, that was a really enthusiastic answer.
Sorry.
And if you remember my first speech, then we all know what about enthusiasm.
If you act enthusiastic, then you'll be enthusiastic.
Somebody was paying attention. I want you to all stand up and repeat this with me. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Louder. Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Thank you.